Hey guys, I don't know what I'm going to name this video yet, but I'm just going to talk about the thing. Here's the thing. For context, I'm doing a PhD, which essentially means I'm a student, but it's also a job because I have a scholarship. And so technically, the people who used to be my professors are my coworkers now. It's like a weird thing because it's like I'm still a student, but I'm hanging out with professors during coffee time and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like it's complicated. You know what I mean? Like I don't know where I stand. Like I don't know where I am. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm a student and like I still see them as my professors, and I mean, for as long as I'm doing this PhD, I'm going to see them as professors because it's I don't know. Like I don't feel like I should treat them like my friends or like my, like we're on the same level or anything. But anyway, that's besides the point. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. How did I get to this PhD? You might be asking. Or you might be wondering. Here's the thing. I never asked for any like professors or anything to like direct my thesis or anything or like to do the thesis with them. I thought about doing it maybe at some point in the future, but I didn't really think about it. And then there was a point where okay, so when I was in the master's degree, my bachelor's dissertation professor, she when I presented okay, so when I started the master's degree, I had done the bachelor's dissertation with her, and when the next year started, supposedly they were gonna give like an award or something for the best written or the best like bachelor's dissertations and stuff. And there was this like contest, and my bachelor's dissertation, oh my god, the word is so hard. My bachelor's dissertation professor was like, hey, if you want to participate in the contest, like you're probably not gonna win because it doesn't really fit the category that you could be in, but I mean you don't lose anything by trying. And I was like, yeah, sure. And so I joined the contest, I guess. And then when they were gonna give out the winners or whatever, when they were gonna announce the winners, like I thought we were sent an email. It was a confusion because like we were all sent an email as if we had won, all of us. And I was like, oh, so I won. So they're asking for my data and all that stuff. Like they were asking for your name, for your ID, all this stuff. Like, because you won. And I was like, oh, so I won. And so I texted no, I didn't text her. I sent her an email and I said, hey, I won. I just wanted to let you know that I won, and thank you so much for telling me to do this, whatever. And then it turns out I hadn't won because like the people from that contest told me like, no, you didn't win, but like we were asking for your data just in case. And I was like, how about you just announce the fucking winners and ask for their data? But anyway, I thought I won and I hadn't. You know what I mean? If I don't win, I don't care. But if I don't, what the fuck? If I don't win, I don't care. But don't tell me I won when I didn't. That's what pissed me off. But anyway, that's besides the point. And then I told my professor, hey, you know what? False alarm. I actually didn't win, but thank you so much anyway. And she was like, oh yeah, it's fine, whatever. And then after a little bit, I don't remember. I don't know if it was that same day or like maybe a little bit later, like a few days later. She was like, hey, you know what? I was wondering because no, she was like, and how are you? And what, like, what are you doing right now? Are you working? Are you doing a master's and stuff? Because like she knew that I had won an award for having the highest academic record in the bachelor's. And she was like, and how are you doing? Are you working? Are you studying something? And I was like, yeah, I'm studying a master's degree actually here, and it was an official master's degree because I don't know about where you guys live, but where I live, they call everything a master's degree, but no, they call everything a master's, but not everything is a master's degree. They sometimes have master's degrees, and they sometimes have masters that are not master's degrees. They are non-official masters. They are like post-grad titles, I guess you could call that, or like titles like offered by the university, but they're not like official like degrees, And I was doing an official master's degree, and then a few days later, I think it was a few days later, she was like, hey, because because you graduated, you got a high grade, and because you are doing a master's degree that is official, I was wondering if you've ever thought about a PhD, like if you've ever considered it. And I don't like to say no to things. Like I like to find out about, you know what I mean? Like I like to learn about things. I was like, I don't know. I never not wanted to do a PhD. Like I was like, it would be cool, but I don't want to keep being a student. You know what I mean? Like I want to work and I want to get money. But I told her, yeah, I mean, sure, I never discarded it, which is true. And she was like, yeah, we can meet in my office one of these days and like we can talk about it. And I was like, sure. And then we met up, and then it turned out that you could actually get paid. Anyway, so this was what happened. And then why was she and another professor offered to direct my thesis, to be my thesis director. So I have two thesis directors. I'm in the PhD right now. And how did I get there? I believe, and I don't like talking good shit about myself, but like in retrospect, seeing all the things, like these people, what they value is, people who are obviously, you're more likely to get a scholarship if you have a good grade. And so I won an award for having the highest academic record. So like I was more likely to get a scholarship if I applied. And I got good grades. And I also, English is not my first language. I live in Spain, so they also value, people that can do stuff in English, because they do all of their research, they do it in English. And actually they were my professors in subjects where, the subject was in English. So they knew that I spoke English. They knew that I got good grades. Like, they knew she was my tutor. Yeah, you call it a tutor. For my thesis, for my bachelor's dissertation, which, I mean, I kind of did half of it last minute, but she saw that I had a lot of references. Like, she saw that I had done a lot of research. Like, my thesis, I had cited a lot of people, and I had done a lot of research, behind that. So maybe she saw the potential there. It's like, okay, like, and also I was good at giving presentations. Like, I don't consider myself like really extroverted. I can be even shy at times and whatnot, but like, this is what I'm doing. Like, I love making videos. I love making presentations and all that. So maybe she saw that and she was like, hey, listen, she doesn't have any problems giving a presentation. Like, she presents well. She can speak English, so she can do the research in English. She gets good grades, you know what I mean? Like, she's academically good. She's been good. And she did a master's degree, you know what I mean? Like, she saw that amount of things. Like, she collected that information. Also, another thing, now that I'm thinking about it, I remember she was my professor in 3 subjects during my degree, in the second, third, and the fourth year, not in the master's degree. And when I was in the third year, I remember she asked me and my friends, when she saw us, like, after class, and she was like, hey, do you guys recommend any, like, do you know any, like, academies or whatever for, like, for kids and stuff to learn English and stuff? And none of us were from that city. Like, none of us grew up in that city, so we couldn't, offer anything. And I was like, and she was like, yeah, because I wanted to look for good ones and stuff. And I told her, listen, I've been to academies, obviously not in this city, because I'm from another city. But, I'm actually from a town. But anyway. And I was like, but, I mean, I went to academies, but they were not, like, that good. Like, we weren't learning that much, And she was like, obviously, I don't like to be like this, you know what I mean? Like, maybe that's a problem that I have. I don't know. But, like, I didn't want to be like that, but it's like they were not really useful. And she was like, and that obviously, like, invites to ask, like, okay, and how the fuck is your English so good, bitch? You know what I mean? Like, what did you do? And she was like, and how's your English so good? And I was like, well, I mean, I mostly did it on my own. I taught myself English, like, watching YouTube videos, talking alone. Like, it's literally what I did. I'm not lying. I've said it many times. And I don't got proof, but yeah. And I said it. And I mean, I said I don't have proof. Now I feel bad because now you guys are going to think I went to academies and stuff. But, like, I swear to God, like, you can go to academies or whatever, but, like, some people have the drive to be like, okay, I want to pronounce like a native speaker. I want to be, like, super, super fluent as if I were, a native speaker and whatnot. Like, some people are okay with just being half fluent and stuff. But I wanted to sort of, like, put English and Spanish at the same level. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to have the same level in both languages. I don't know. That was a thing that I had. Anyway, so that's, it was a little unnecessary clarification, but whatever. And so, like, she knew these things about me. And here's the thing about a PhD. Why am I telling you this? Because the thing about a PhD is that you have to be very autonomous. You are self-taught in a lot of things. You have to learn how to code. You have to learn a bunch of software to do research. You have to, do research and learn stuff on your own. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be curious about things, and you have to want to learn about things, and you have to be autonomous in that. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you're doing this. Of course, like, you get directors and stuff, and, like, sometimes they mentor you, or they tell you, like, maybe go here, maybe go there, don't do this, don't do that, maybe, it's easier or it's better if you do it this way, whatever. Like, they obviously orient you, but they give you, like, orientation, but at the end of the day, you're the one that has to do it. You have to be very autonomous and willing to learn. And I think that her knowing that, obviously she believed me. That's why I'm here. And she said it. I think she said it like 2 or 3 times, like, when we've met up. Like, no, I mean, like we know you're very autonomous, and you said you learned English on your own. So, like, you know what I mean? You're autonomous. You can do this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I think she saw those things. And she was like, you know what, she's actually a good fit. You know what I mean? Like, she speaks English, she's autonomous, she studied, you know what I mean? Like, she, when she likes something, like, she does the work and stuff. Like, she, you know what I mean? Like, I was basically, I was in the right place at the right time because, like, I mean, that, like, you know, I joined that, let's say that mini, like, contest or something, and turned out that she asked me, like, what I was doing, and I was like, well, I'm doing a master's degree, whatever, and, like, so that was, I think that that was the right place at the right time, because, like, I didn't think that, like, you know, it was teachers who could also, like, recruit students to do PhDs. I thought it was only us that, you know, if I want to do a PhD, I do it. If I don't, whatever. I didn't know how that worked. So in that sense, I was in the right place at the right time. But I had the skill and I had the things that they were looking for. I had no idea, you know, like I knew, like I always knew that I could be a good professional, just as anyone else. Just as anyone else. If you're hardworking, you're willing to do things. That's it. But but I didn't know that the things that the qualities that I had made me a good fit to be an academic. Because maybe I'm good at getting good grades and all that stuff, but like, but what if I don't have certain skills? What if I'm not good at presenting? What if I only speak one language? What if I am not very autonomous and I have to have people to like tell me what to do? I mean, I do need to have deadlines because otherwise it's hard for me to get to do things. I'm not too good with time management. But they don't know that. And they don't have to know it at this point. But anyway. So that's the thing. And I wanted to talk about something. I just wanted to know for how long I've been recording. Because I was thinking about something happened today, right? And okay, so I had this classmate when I was in the bachelor's. He's still in the bachelor's, by the way. Like, as far as I'm concerned, he's still in the bachelor's. Anyway, so this guy, what really characterized him is the fact that he's very, how do you say gold digger, but like with people that are like higher status. I don't know, like he only acts out of self-interest. You know what I mean? Like, if he hangs out with this person, that person, it's out of self-interest. It has a lot to do with who you are and the status that you have, or what you can do for him, what you can bring to the table, how you can benefit him, you know, how he can benefit from being friends with you or hang out with you or and whatnot. And he would always be a huge suck up with professors. You know what I mean? Whenever someone, you know, came here to give a talk, like, even if they were like the lowest level, let's say, operator or, you know, corporate, you know, person, like white collar, blue collar, I don't fucking remember the terminology. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if you're at the lowest level of your company and whatnot, like, if you give a talk at the university, like, he will suck up to you. He will ask you questions and he would, I don't fucking know what he does. Like, I don't even know what he talks about with these people. Or like, even professors, like, he would ask them questions and then he's talking a lot with them and do you know what I mean? Like, he does all these things and it's crazy. And also, well, I'm not even gonna, I don't know, I hope he never watches this, but like, yeah, he befriends people either because they have some sort of status or because they have something that he thinks that will give him status by association. This guy's always sucking up to people and everything, you know what I mean? There's a lot of contests and there's a lot of like talks that, you know, in school and whatnot, and every person that comes from another, you know, corporation or from another entity or another university, whoever the fuck it is, it doesn't matter if it's an academic, if it's a lawyer, if it's a consultant, if it's a CEO, if it's a CFO, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, this man will always suck up to them. Okay. And that hasn't really gotten him far. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he hasn't gotten any job, like any important job or just any job in general. He hasn't gotten any job from sucking up to any of these people because he has talked to so many people from so many different sectors, so many companies, like, and he sucks up to them hard. The little that I've seen he does, he has, and he does, I'm pretty sure. And when has he gotten a job? When has he gotten promoted from a job that he doesn't even have a job from that? You know what I mean? Like, okay, like, maybe he has all these connections on LinkedIn, whatever, but like, has any of these people hired you? Has any of these people recommended you to do this and that? You're just a suck up. Like, it's more than, you can't be a suck up. If people don't like you, it doesn't matter. And like, sometimes people will smell that you're sucking up to them. I'm not saying like I'm the example, but I think it's better to focus on what you can do. Focus on your skills. Focus on, okay, what is your raw talent? What am I good at? What can I do? What do I want to be good at? You know what I mean? Like, develop your skills, develop yourself, develop your knowledge in something, obviously maybe do things to showcase that. If you're good at fucking public speaking, maybe go to the debate club. I think there's also like speech contests and all that stuff, at least in my university. You know what I mean? Like, go to places where you can show off that skill, or no, showcase that skill, not show it off. I don't know. Be in the right place at the right time. Develop your skills and also be in the right place at the right time. That's how you get opportunities, not just sucking up to people like that. Okay, this guy tells me how pretty I am, but what can he do? You know what I mean? Do you know how to code? How many languages do you speak? Can you play any instruments? What are you good at, man? You know? So, yeah. Think about that. People can tell when you're a big suck up, okay? And, I didn't tell you the story. I was about to do the outro and I didn't tell you the story. So I was talking to one of my professors, who was also his professor at some point, because we were in the same class at some point, and we could see him, or at least I could see him, I don't know. And I waved hi, and he waved hi, and he was like, he seemed more excited than usual when he waves hi to me, when he greets me, but because I was with my professor, and I knew it, I knew he was more like, enthusiastic because she was there. I don't know, I think she didn't see him, but if she had seen him, I would be totally, like, I would understand, because, like, this man would suck up to her so fucking much. Like, he would talk to her for so long after the class was gone. I don't even know what he talks to professors about. I don't even know, because, like, he can talk for so many minutes, probably even hours if it was for him. I don't even know what he talks to professors about. I have no idea. But anyway, that was the story. I hope it wasn't really messy. I hope it made sense. Because I don't plan out these things. Like, I literally just burp it out. No pun intended. Burping it out was a podcast I had not a long time ago. Anyway, I should shut up. I'm going to make the video in Spanish, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope this helped somebody out. I hope this was insightful, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Also, I wanted to say something else, and I forgot before. She was the professor who offered me this PhD thing. She was my bachelor's dissertation tutor because I chose her. I sent her an email like, hey, I was wondering if you wanted to be, or if if I could have you as my tutor for the bachelor's thesis, because you taught us the subject and whatnot, and I have a few ideas and whatnot. Like, the thing is, I didn't tell her, like, because you're so amazing and whatnot. Like, I mean, I really liked her, but the thing is, like, I mean, I really like her, but the thing is, like, I was not sucking up to her and telling her, like, because you're so amazing, because I love you. No, obviously not. But here's the thing, that says a lot of things, because if I wanted to choose her as my dissertation tutor, like, if I didn't like her, if I despised her with my entire physical being, I would have never chosen her. So in a way, she's like, okay, this girlie is good. Like, she has the qualities and stuff. And she's someone that we're going to be working with, like, for a long period of time. Like, we're going to be in the same, like, research group. We're going to be co-workers, So she probably doesn't dislike me. You know what I mean? I don't want to say, like, she loves me. You know what I mean? No. But, like, she was like, and she doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, she said about me, and she, you know what I mean? Like, if she hated me or if she didn't like me or whatever, she would have not chosen me. She would have not asked me to be her dissertation tutor, So that was another thing. It's like, okay, like, if she didn't like me, so I can tell that she likes me, and, you know what I mean? Like, she probably doesn't have a bad opinion about me either as a person, So it's also about that. That's also the human aspect of it. Like, okay, like, is there, I'm not saying, like, there should be chemistry and whatnot, but, like, at least, like, okay, I know this bitch doesn't dislike me because she asked me, and now I know that she doesn't dislike me either because she asked me to do a PhD with her. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's that thing as well. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.